It's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum. And I'm all out of gum.
Ready?
Here we go.
Let's do this.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Pause Your Game Podcast. We are back from Thanksgiving. Still digesting that turkey.
We didn't have turkey.
I had
didn't
two
either.
Thanksgivings, remember?
We had like chicken, which
Well, yeah,
did you
when I
know
was-
that the
when
rest of the world refers to turkey as chicken? Seriously,
Why?
I'm not making this shit up. It actually
that's
is true.
bullshit.
Like it is called chicken, like in a variety of forms in other
Chicken.
countries. No shit.
That's bullshit.
That is
That
not
is
bullshit.
bullshit.
That is straight up truth. All right,
Bullshit.
that is other countries in whatever languages you want to
just call it
basically
chicken.
call turkey.
So what do you
it's-
call
it's some-
chicken, then?
It's some form of no, they call it like a kind of chicken, like
Oh, like
for
a
example,
big chicken or
like
something?
Indian
Like-
chicken, or
that's how
you
it
know,
translates?
Yeah,
It's like big
fucking-
chicken?
It's
Big fucking chicken.
yeah, it's referred to as a chicken. All right, that's what they refer to it as. You can
Well,
check
us
this
in-
out and verify it for yourself. So if you were living anywhere else, you'd be calling it some kind of chicken.
Us Americans call them turkeys.
That's right. That's right. Even though turkeys are here in North America, that's where they are.
That's right.
And we
The North
named them,
American
right?
chicken.
There are
Everybody else-
birds, damn it.
Everybody else in Asia and Europe and all the rest of the world, it's like it's a chicken. You know?
You know
Is a
what? Yeah.
chicken.
I feel like
Is a
this is that
chicken.
point in time where someone goes and like Ben Franklin wanted to make the national bird for the United States a turkey. Like,
Yeah, right, exactly.
So-
yeah.
Yeah, we came back
instead
from
of
that.
the bald eagle, right? Which
The bald
yeah.
eagles are assholes.
he characterized the bald eagle as just like a cowardly scavenger or something like that.
Well, now
Yeah.
they are, yeah.
Could you imagine if turkeys were the noble creatures?
Yes, yes. Yeah, well, turkeys can be fucking fierce, man. My
That's
mother
why.
was
That's
attacked
why
by a
I'm like,
fucking
yo,
turkey.
turkeys get up in your face.
Yeah, they like start stomping the ground. And they do like a charge, right? Like a bull.
That's
and
terrifying.
they just like will slam into you. And believe me, you do not want a turkey going mad on your ass.
No.
I mean, it is not a pretty
So
thing.
it would have been probably more appropriate for us to be turkeys.
Well,
Yeah,
not
because,
see. The
because
problem
turkeys
is
are
the
kinda
current
big,
form
they're
of
kind of big
turkeys.
stick swingers, I mean, basically,
Yeah.
they got the big old fan, right, of feathers and everything else.
Yeah.
So they're showing off already, right? And they
Yeah.
can puff themselves up like most birds
That's right.
can. And then they have
Really
this
up
full
their
display.
game.
They're loud and obnoxious.
They're loud and obnoxious, right? Like Americans in so many
America.
cases are. And they've got a unique turkey gobble call, whatever. And yes, exactly. And then they've got this whole thing where if you piss them off, it's like you better run. You
go
better
battle tank
fucking
mode.
run because it's
They
going to be painful.
transform.
That's right.
Yeah.
They transform, and they can pick up speed quickly. I mean, it's one of those things that these birds may not be able to fly, but they don't need to. They can certainly run you over.
So we
Yeah.
did.
They
did
can
that.
fly. Wild
we had
turkeys
our
can fly.
dinners.
Well,
We had our
okay, some
dinner.
varieties of turkey perhaps can fly. but
I have
most-
been woken up by flying turkeys over my
Turkey
keep.
buzzards don't technically fly.
They're not turkeys.
Yeah, they're
They
not
were
Turkey
turkeys.
buzzards are not turkeys.
No,
They're
turkey
kind of
buzzards are not
buzzard.
turkey. Yeah,
No.
I'm not talking about turkey buzzards.
Well,
talking about
turkeys
turkeys.
can, like
If you've ever
turkeys
seen
can
a turkey
jump. They can
buzz-
pull that shit where they can jump
They're
up
huge,
real
though.
high, like they can sort of fly. like they
Yeah,
have
see, I don't
assisted-
think turkeys can
No.
actually fly.
No,
better.
these. I swear to God. I swear to God. There was a whole.
They're not-
I
they're not
think you were-
turkeys.
I
Flock
think you
of
were
them.
under the influence of certain.
I was a
chemicals.
child. Oh my
yes,
God.
Yes, definitely chemicals. That's what it was.
Oh my God. Wow.
All right, so let's move on.
Y'all are
We had
bitches.
dinners. We had dinners, and in some of our cases, we had turkey. Me and Fallon.
And in
a
some of
few-
our cases, we had other chemicals with our turkey.
That's right.
Yes.
I went to go visit
got drunk
Fallon
and
in,
fell
in
asleep.
another.
So that the turkeys look like they flew.
oh
I
my
hate
god.
you so much right now. God, little shithead.
So yeah, we did our dinners, and then that happened.
I had
so then
fake
I
feet.
went up to go see Fallon and a mutual friend of ours, and we did that, and we had like a little we had a chicken and everything, and that
That's
was
what we
fun.
had. It is an actual chicken.
Yeah, whole chicken. It was perfect for 3 people.
I don't know if
Um,
perfect is the word I'd apply, but
You were still hungry?
yeah, a little bit.
No.
Aw.
Peckish.
Yeah.
All right.
I was not stuffed to the point of like feeling like I was going to explode like most
Right,
people are.
I
Why the
suppose
fuck
on
not?
Thanksgiving that's the goal then,
Yeah.
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 Like where you
No,
just sit around the
Louis
rest of the
C.K.
day.
said it best.
Yeah,
The
you
meal
sit-
isn't over until you hate yourself.
That's
There you
right.
go.
That's right. That's exactly correct.
So
That's
then
exactly correct.
we had that. We had Black Friday. I bought a bunch of shit.
I had no money, so I couldn't buy anything.
Beth didn't buy anything.
You're not the
Fallon,
only
you
one,
buy
Beth.
anything? Fallon's perpetually poor.
Yes.
So that's fine.
I'm not even
The life of an educator.
I'm actually
Yeah.
not even poor. I'm like in negative. I'm in an inverse
negative,
kind of
yeah.
wealth dimension. But, yeah.
As soon as you
As
get it,
I
it's gone.
rise,
And
I
you owe.
lose.
That's right. There are figures of debt I have that people aspire to when it comes to like their wealth. So it's
Yeah.
one of those things where it's six figures, folks. All right. So
Six negative figures.
Six negative figures. Like we're starting to get into like upper class wealth here when you come. When you think about
Upper
that.
class.
Like
You're the
at
upper
least
class debt.
Upper.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Upper
That's what I'm
class
trying to
of
say.
debt.
Like I am inversely wealthy. That's
That's a play on.
I mean,
that's a play on those
people who
words right
have
there.
no money are significantly more wealthy than I am.
God.
I take it out the other end. So yeah.
Whoa. I want to rephrase that, Fallon.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah,
But-
a little
all right, so we're back. We got some news. We got topics. It's time to delve into them. We got stuff to
Join the
talk
end.
about. So first up, we're going to start off with... We got something small, a little smaller here. Steam finally adds the option to permanently delete games from your library.
All right.
Woo!
Woo!
Now you can hide all your shame
Yes.
from your friends.
Bury it.
What
Not hide it.
friends?
Okay.
Yeah, what
this-
all the copies of Hatoful Boyfriend that Beth
Hatoful
has.
Boyfriend. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I don't actually,
Beth has,
I don't
she can
actually own that. Thank
I gotta
Christ.
get you that. I want to see you play that as a stream. I want to see you find your pigeon boyfriend and
Jesus God.
live happily together, Beth. With your
Yeah,
with
because
your
that's the
pigeon.
only time that's going to actually happen.
That's right. Well, when else will it happen? When else on this bird-centric episode will you ever?
Well, no,
Find
I was
your-
just talking about a boyfriend. But
Oh, there you go. Well, maybe you might want to try pigeons. Maybe that's where
What?
you want to go.
no,
Well,
that's awful.
Hatoful. Yeah, pigeons.
That's fucking
No.
awful.
Yeah, that's
That's
not-
terrible.
You don't
That's-
really want to do that.
No. That's called bestiality-ish? No, I don't know.
Well,
I think
that's
it's
only,
called-
if you do, that's only if you do certain things with the
Oh,
pigeons.
that's true, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
if you just have them living with you, it's still really not a great situation because pigeons are notoriously dirty freaking
Hey,
animals.
you know what? I rescued a pigeon years ago.
Now, Beth, I'm not sure in your case whether it would matter so much what their cleanliness is because
Rude as fuck.
Yes,
Jesus.
I'm just
At
being
two.
a bastard today.
That too. Fucking Fallon, Jesus.
Listen, Beth, I wonder sometimes at what your place looks like.
Dude, don't wonder because it looks awful.
Yeah, right. So you.
So what
have-
you're saying is a pigeon would class up the joint.
Right,
It might. It really might,
exactly. A pigeon might even like just walk the fuck out and go, "I can't handle this. It's
Oh
just
my
too dirty
God.
for me." So
God.
anyway, there's a level of
Jesus.
chaos, Beth, that you're comfortable with that most of the rest of humanity isn't. So
Yeah.
that's
I'm
not a
definitely
not a
not.
mark
Which is
against you. It's
strange.
just your capacity for tolerance, for something like that is
It's
it's
a
a little
T
bit
for
higher
tolerance.
than most people's. That's
That's right. I am tolerant like a motherfucker.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So,
Mm.
and yet somehow you're able to locate things, and
Yeah, well,
No,
that's
don't-
the whole thing.
don't let
That's
her believe
controlled
that.
chaos. That's what it is.
That's it.
Because if I clean my shit, I'm not going to be able to find anything.
you've got it to a level that even I have stuff lying around like all over the place, but I have a feeling that you outclass me in this regard. So
Wow.
It might be possible. I think it does. I actually think it does. The last time I saw your place, it wasn't that crazy. So I don't know.
well,
But
that's
of course
because that's because here's the thing. I tend
Oh,
to
you
like,
put on airs? Do you put
I
on
put
airs?
on
when we-
airs. I do.
Ah,
I have at least
God.
some
Oh,
degree,
fuck.
some modicum of shame, right? It's one of those things where I don't want people to like walk into my place and go, Jesus, we need to get you help.
Like, this is exactly why I don't have people over.
Yeah, exactly right. You always go somewhere else, right?
It's like, nobody is allowed in my house.
Yeah, exactly. It's like nobody. My place isn't ready. It's not in a state of readiness.
it's just
Never-
it's
never
not
will be.
ready. Like don't look at me.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
full of shame.
You don't want. Yes, the shame.
It's full of shame. Don't look at me. All right, let's move on to the next thing. We're gonna dip into Nintendo.
The reason we brought that up is because I really think that the primary thing, with this permanently deleting games from your library business, the market that's going to appeal to is people who are like, I've got 100 games in here that I bought because of sales, and I don't really even play half of these games, and I want them off my list. That like the OCD.
But even then, you can hide them. You can hide them off your list, and you still own
people
them.
don't know that. All right, they're just going to be like, I need to clean the list. I need to prune it. I need to get my shit together.
I think
really
it's
just to hide
it's a
shame.
complete cleanse. It's a complete cleanse.
It's a cleanse.
It's like that's what it is. I need to change my life.
Right.
And
It's
I'm
like
gonna
one of
start
those
by deleting
lemon
these
juice
games.
cleanses or whatever. It's like we are just going to expel all the shit.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. The new fall fashion: deleting your Steam list.
That's right. The Steam cleanse.
Steam cleanse.
There you go. Steam Cleanse 2015.
That's right.
Beautiful. Great A work. I'm glad to see that on our return we're back to our great, top game here, people. Top game.
Yes, that's right. We bring our A game
Even
all
without
the time.
Brad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure Brad would have something to say about this.
Well,
Something.
probably.
Something.
Well, but he's not here, so
That's right.
He's not
fucking
here.
sucks to be him.
I know. Brad has gone on a part-time schedule where he shows up maybe once or twice a month and
Whenever
considers
he
his
feels like
duty
it.
fulfilled. So I'm sure that he'll be absent for the next 3 weeks because of
Things.
various
He'll be absent.
obligations.
You know what? He'll be absent, and then when we go on break again for like New
come back.
Year's,
He'll be here.
He'll be here.
Yeah, and they're like, I'm ready to go, guys.
And we're like, it's New Year's.
Yeah,
Like we're not fucking
we're
here.
not doing this. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is wrong? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, newsflash to listeners, we won't be here New Year's, just in case you're unaware of that fact.
Well, maybe it depends on. I might be here. I mean, I've been rolling around in my head for a while, like doing an episode by myself. So if I've got enough,
I want
Why
you
don't
know
you
what?
just do
I
like a
have
New
enough
Year's stream.
champagne, okay, and I'm not spending it with anybody. I'm gonna pop the cork on that bitch, and I'm gonna get on here and record an
Jesus.
episode for you.
There you go. Work some shit out.
This
We're
is
gonna
Fallon-
call that Fallon's Forever Alone.
That's
New
right.
Year's.
This is Fallon's rockin' New Year's Eve.
That's how we
my
should
goodness.
do it. It should be like a radio station. Like we play music.
That's
It's really
right.
bad.
That's right. That's right. We put on in the Auld Lang Sang or whatever,
Yeah.
and yeah,
It's really bad
God.
music. It's sappy. He's drunk. Like we
You
just roll
crying?
with it. Yeah. Why did she leave me? I don't know. All right, let's move on. We got Nintendo filing for patents.
for game consoles with the detachable computer device. What the hell are we talking about here?
This is probably
Dongles.
this is the proof in the pudding that we've all been predicting. Is that the Nintendo NX is going to be both a home console and a portable console all in one.
Well, good.
That's what it sounded like. So basically, it lets you. This is the important part. It's bolded right here. A game console comprising one or more processors configured to locally execute a game and provide video output of the game to a display and audio output of the game to a speaker. I hate how some of these are worded, but
Yeah, that sounds awful.
I'm gonna read through the next part and then we'll make it digestible. A supplemental computing device configured to detachably couple to the game console via the physical communication interface. A supplemental computing device
brain.
comprising one or more processor configured to provide over the physical communication interface processing resources to the game console to assist the game console in locally executing the game. So, break that
Jesus.
down into
Meanwhile,
something
lawyers
useful.
are saying, I don't know, it sounds perfectly clear to me.
Yeah, like our
God
one
damn.
lawyer that listens is like, sounds great. I don't see the problem.
Yeah.
But so basically, what that is saying is that the devices can detach. That the
Yes.
detached device can run the game on the detached device by itself, not like where the Wii U is streaming to the gamepad. All right, the device itself can run it, probably in some reduced state, but whatever, and can run it. And then when they're together, they work in tandem of each other to put out like an even better picture or experience.
I just feel like once again, this is Nintendo being Nintendo in a sense of like This
Nintendo.
technology is already out there. It's already out there for other people. It's an Apple thing actually that Nintendo is doing here. Because they're so obsessed. They are perpetually obsessed, and some people attribute this to quote brand control. But they're
Quote unquote.
perpetually obsessed with keeping everything they play, everything they make on their own devices, on their own hardware. It's like, we already have the capability to, like, I don't know, like flash something up on a different screen or whatever and have that done, at least in a limited capacity right now. And I'm sure, okay, it's not going to be too long before we can we can mimic this with almost any device. It's just one of those things where Nintendo, of course, can't take advantage of that because, God forbid, they use hardware that isn't made by Nintendo or hasn't been produced and controlled by the Nintendo brand factory. I don't want to have to buy your hardware, Nintendo. I'm going to say that.
Right.
I've said this 1,000 times before, and I'm going to say it again. I don't want to have to buy your hardware. Stop making me buy your hardware. I don't want it.
But okay. First off,
Oh.
they're not making you
First
buy the
off.
hardware because you never buy the hardware.
Listen,
Like,
I
it
never
doesn't
buy
work.
their games because I never buy their hardware because I don't want a Game Boy, all right? Because I don't want their bullshit
Game
hardware.
Boy? What
right?
year is this?
You know,
Colin?
I know he's stuck in the fucking early '90s,
Right?
like late '89.
Okay, you can call it a 3DS or whatever the hell you want to call it. It's still Game Boy, all right? It's still a Game Boy, all right?
God.
It's just an
Okay.
You're
updated
like one of those
version.
old people where
Yeah.
you're like, where'd you get that on the internet? Like
Yeah, exactly.
on the
It's-
YouTubes?
It's an updated version
The
of a
World
Game Boy
Wide
by a
Webs?
different fucking name,
Yeah.
A rose by any other name would still
Did you play
smell as
that on your
terrible.
Game Boy?
So-
On
I
the
thought
Game
roses smell
Boy?
good. Like,
So
That's
anyway,
how you show your age. Is
the
when
point
when you
is-
say not a Game Boy, but the.
the
As if
Game
it's something
Boy.
like an essence, like it's the essence of Game Boy.
It is. The 3DS is just maintaining the long lineage and genealogy of Game Boy. All right, so basically that's what we're dealing with here. And it's always been on Nintendo's platform, on Nintendo's devices. And it's like, stop it. You are not Apple.
Step.
Okay? You are not Apple. All right? So
You can
go
hear the
away.
hate.
Oh my
God,
God.
so much
I'm
anger.
so
sick.
tired of this fishbowl-minded.
Anger leads to hate.
Oh,
Yeah.
hate leads to suffering.
Hate leads to suffering. That's right.
Gives you focus. Makes you stronger. God. All
That
right,
was
let's
beautiful.
move on.
By the way,
Now that he's done hating,
Oh,
we
Is
got
he?
one
so
more.
much
We have another. We have one more.
I hate Nintendo. I hate
Nintendo thing.
We
So much hate
the
for-
precious.
He hates them.
hates
Oh,
them.
God. All right, so we have Mario Kart 8 is
Of
apparently.
course.
Yep.
He's so mad about
Mario,
somebody
I know he's
assault.
just like if it was
So
any other
salt.
game, he'd be like, "All right, that's interesting," but it's
Yes.
Mario Kart, so he's just fuck.
Yeah.
These
God
ass
damn it! I
fucks.
don't want to talk about this.
Yeah.
That's right. Mario Kart 8 is going to be on Disney, the Disney Channel.
Why?
a-
Why?
As part of their esports experiment.
Fucking why?
So they're making like family. They're trying to make family friendly.
Of course they
But
are.
Sports
you can't
TV.
get family friendly with Mario Kart. Do you know how many insults get slung and
Oh, I know.
friendships
It's
die?
clearly what they're doing is
Clearly
they're
they
promoting
don't fucking
alcoholism.
know. Yeah, clearly they are clearly promoting, and then the foul language. It's not going to be family friendly at all. I don't know what the hell
There's
they're
not,
thinking.
there's nothing friendly.
There's
Mario
nothing
Kart,
friendly about Mario Kart.
Right. Mario Kart on the surface is family friendly, but what happens outside of the screen is anything but.
Yeah,
You want to
it's
talk
not-
about toxicity, all right? The shit that goes on in a Mario Kart. Friendships end over Mario
Yeah.
Kart. Like, that's what happens.
like they did not think this shit through at all.
No, it's a great idea on the surface, but those kids are going to be strangling each other.
Yeah,
gonna be strangling each
There's
other.
going to be a controller thrown at the screen,
Yeah.
a
Which is
punch
good
in
for
the
Nintendo
throat,
because you need to buy another controller then.
Yeah.
a punch in the throat, and the kid's going to be down.
Yeah.
And, then
Oh,
and it's just going to be a bunch of shit.
it is. It's just gonna be a complete shitstorm.
It's like
That's what
watching
that is.
puppies wrestle. So,
No,
Puppy-
it's like watching puppies wrestle, and then like one found a gun. Like that's
I
what
can
that's
see
what that is.
Yeah, I can see that.
Puppies wrestling my ass.
Wow. In your ass? What?
I said
Yeah,
puppies.
I don't even want to know. All right.
Oh my God.
We've gone to a dark, dark place there.
Terrible. I'm trying to find
Yeah,
that.
no, that is an awful fucking idea.
Trying to find that haiku of the blue shell
Oh,
haiku.
yeah.
Oh, hold on. Give me one second. There it is. All right, blue there. A haiku about Mario Kart. Here, for one moment. Are you kidding me? Who the fuck threw that blue shell? I will fuck you up.
That's right.
A
That is
haiku
very
about
appropriate.
Mario Kart.
That's right.
That speaks louder than anything else we can say.
That should be the thing for
Yeah.
this episode. Is I
That's
will fuck you
beautiful.
up.
I will fuck you up.
I
Who
will
the fuck threw
you
that
up.
blue
Who
shell?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
And
hate.
you.
That is the hate that is Mario Kart, and that'll be the same thing with the Disney Channel.
Yeah.
They could go.
There's
There's
no
so many other
fucking-
games they could pick that will not elicit such rage and destruction.
Yeah.
But-
Exactly.
Yeah, anything. It's just ridiculous.
Anything but.
Okay. All right, let's move on. Let's
Oh
talk
my
about
God.
the shit we don't really care about, but we kind of care about because of what happened, but sort of not really.
Sort of not really.
Yeah, that's the best description I can give. So apparently, and I say apparently because I don't think we have a definitive answer on this if this is what Konami did, but apparently Konami prevented Kojima from attending the Game Awards. This was
According
an
to Jeff
announcement.
Kiley.
Yeah.
Serious.
Yes, apparently this was he said this during the presentation, and basically it was just it blew up obviously because everyone was like, why the fuck didn't they let him take the award or whatever? And I believe Metal Gear Solid 5 did win something, and it was whoever does the voice for Solid Snake was the one who took the award. But yeah, Kojima was not there, even though they won an award or two.
The reason I want to say this is because we get nothing from basically Kojima or Konami about this supposed you're not allowed to go. So it's one of those things where this is all Jeff Kiley, basically relaying secondhand information to us.
So it's just hearsay.
Right, exactly. He's just like throwing this out there, and everybody's jumping on board because why not? It's probably something that might even be true. But it's one of those things where there's no confirmation.
But you'll never
here.
know because
That's right.
it's fucking Konami.
That's right. You'll never know, and there's no word. I mean, I'm surprised that there's no word here on Hideo Kojima's Twitter or any kind of indication apart from Jeff Kiley saying, yeah, I know that he wasn't able to be here tonight. I mean, so it could just all be Jeff Kiley saying this.
Okay, so Konami and Kojima released a joint statement, which that sounds
That's
terrible.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah,
that
it sounds like it's
really weird.
coerced. Like just sign the document.
We won't hurt your
fucking-
family if you just sign the fucking
could
document.
you just sign the document and it'll
So what
all
did it
go
say?
away? They basically said that he remains 100% involved and will continue working on Metal Gear Solid.
So
5,
again,
the
there's
Phantom Pain.
nothing actually.
Hold
backing
on.
up.
And would
does he
remain
better?
involved throughout its development. However, the statement
Comma.
did not say anything addressing him actually being barred or allowed to go to these awards.
Right.
So it
And
was
They're
a
just
non-answer.
purposely
But
avoiding
that's what I'm
it.
trying to say. Is this like there is no indication? Look, not for nothing. We can speculate all damn day long. And it might even be true. And you can imagine that poor Hideo Kojima is being, threatened somewhere with
He's like that Yarny dev.
multiple forms
Aw.
of torture and death, if he even mentions a word. But I don't think he's that tied down, so to speak. It's one of those things where it's like painting Konami up as a giant monster is a
Well,
little
they
bit
do
of a
the job. They do the job well for themselves.
Only,
They make-
they
they
I
make
don't
it
know.
easy,
They make it
kinda.
I
easy.
don't know that they're doing any job well at this point. So it's like, I don't want to give
I don't
them-
know, Fallon. Have
was
you seen those new
brilliant, Fallon.
pachinko machines? Pretty awesome.
I don't- yeah, exactly right.
Chinko's the future, kids.
So I'm a little bit more reluctant to give them credit they don't deserve. But yeah, I'm just kind of like I feel like this might be an attention grab by Kiley, who let me just say he's an awful host. All right, Jeff,
Oh, I
you're
agree.
an awful host. get off the mic, all right, and let somebody else
Just
who doesn't
be
look
the
like
bankroll.
he's half
Just be the
asleep,
bankroll.
okay, get up there
probably
and
high.
host your program, okay? You got something here that could eventually be kind of good.
Something.
And you know, just bankroll the damn thing and get somebody up there who is a good host. You know, like Neil
That's right.
Patrick Harris.
Yes.
Like, you know, just get somebody up there who really knows how to do the hosting thing. All right? You look like you're half asleep and your
you're
parts
not
were
into
awful. I honestly tuned out of the awards show when Jeff was talking. So it's one of those things where
I
it's like,
agree. It was the worst part of it all.
you're driving me away, Jeff, all right, from your own show. So it's one of those things where it's like, get your face off the camera, just bankroll the damn thing, and get somebody on there that I want to actually listen to and look at. So, you know, that's my advice to you.
You heard it first. Fallon wants eye candy.
That's it. You know, I mean, a host is meant to be like, hi, I'm here again to usher you on to the next segment. You're going to
That's
like
right.
what I say until that
You're
segment
supposed
comes
to be
on.
eye candy.
That's right.
That's the whole
I don't
point.
have anything
I
else
and
to
you.
say. I'm going to crack a joke here and there that you might think is funny, but otherwise,
not.
I'm going to be the smooth transition between these two parts.
That's right.
You know,
really
that's
just
what
a
a host
crapshoot.
does. That's it.
Provide transition from part
right.
1 to part 2.
That's
and
right.
So on and
That's
so
it.
forth.
You know, that's their only job. They're the glue. And if you're driving me away, you're not the glue. Okay? So,
Definitely.
you
Some-
know, yeah.
Some anti-glue.
That's right.
Some NASA shit right there.
Yeah.
That's
right.
That's a shit. Oh, God. I agree though, because I sort of watched the Game Awards.
Sort
I
of.
think
I love that.
I-
Sort of.
Well, if by sort of, I mean like it was like in the corner of the monitor, like that's where it was, and
Wow.
occasionally I popped in and looked at it. There were certain spots where I watched it, especially for the announcements. That's where my ears perked up, and I'm just like, oh, announcements, let's go look at that. So
Hey.
I did that, but it's just I don't care. I don't really care. The one thing that and this was right at the start, and it was before I lost all care, was that they had.
Before I lost
I was
all
surprised
care.
that Splatoon won Best Shooter, and
I love how
was-
people threw bitch fits about that, by the way.
Yeah, they're like,
should have
what?
been like
Not a-
Rocket League. No, Rocket League was wrong.
Not a
no.
dude bro shooter. Like, come on. I'll give them credit on that one. That's the only one I'll give them credit on. But it was just, I just didn't care who won. I don't know what you could do
Because it doesn't
to make
mean
me
shit,
care.
honestly.
I don't know what you could do to
Like
make
who
me care.
who
about
gives
it.
a shit? You know,
I know,
like
yeah, it's just I don't feel like it's the end. It's not. It doesn't feel like an award show. That's what I think. That's the problem.
feels like
I
shit.
think
That's what it is.
I think it could
honest.
get there. I think
It's not- yeah, it's
they're-
just not
I
there
think
now.
they're reworking it for the. You know, I mean, this is only the second year it's been running, right? Is that
Yeah,
true?
since
Yeah.
Spike.
Something.
Yeah, so
abandoned
it's
it.
one of those things where I think it can go places, but it's one of those things. I
Yeah,
don't
it
think,
can go to hell.
I don't think that a good video game awards show, at least on the level of, for example, movie Oscars and things like that, is something that is altogether impossible. I think we could do that.
Well, okay, few simple changes, right? Here's my suggestion. Short list, right? Just real fast, like bullet
God.
point. Get rid of don't put out new game information in an award show.
No, that's
All right.
dumb. That's not the
That
point of the fucking
defeats
award
the purpose
show.
of the award show. Don't do anything like that. If the devs want to drop something and they're like acceptance speech, that's their prerogative, but don't make it part of the show. Second, do not just hand out awards and not show them. Do not, like, there was awards in that show that just were given out but weren't like on stage, which is fucking weird.
Yeah.
All right, every award should be on there. No fan crap. All right, I don't give a
That should
shit
be a
about-
separate entity.
Right.
But fans have really shitty opinions about things, so it's
no
like
no like fan crap over like best esports team, which is like impossible to. How does that?
that is
even
dumb.
work?
That is dumb
Yeah.
as a bag of rocks.
Same thing for like game. What was it for like personality? Also stupid.
Why?
Should not
Yeah.
be. None of this should be in here.
Nobody gives a shit. They do what they do. Fuck it. Who
Right.
cares?
Keep
It's
it-
all
make it-
personal opinion. Why are you putting that in an awards show?
Well, an award show is personal opinion on some level.
Well,
but,
yeah, on a level where.
But
you know,
I mean, like, you don't go to the Oscars and they had like best fan favorite. Like,
no.
they don't. You know, there's no fan favorite.
Maybe they
out of
might
it all.
now. Jeez.
Yeah, you know, so it's just kill that shit off. Make it about the awards. Keep it award centric. make sure that your award categories make sense. Make some better categories. Like, don't fucking put some broad ass shit in there that sometimes, or get a little bit more down to detail. Maybe put like, don't have a best game of the year. Maybe have a best game of the year in regards to a platform.
Yeah, I was thinking platform.
Let's drill it down a little, but I mean, it can be so. And get what's his face out of there. What is it, Jeff?
Yeah.
Get Jeff out of there.
Fire Jeff. For
be
love
done
of
with
God,
Jeff.
Just fire Jeff.
You just put him in the back room and say, "Look, have you got our money?" You know?
Yeah, like at most, just have him like come out right at the dead end and be like, "Thanks for coming," and like that's it.
Right, that's it. Thanks
That's all
for
you
coming.
need.
You know, that sort of thing. You know, we hope you
See
enjoyed
you all
it.
next year.
See you all
Yeah.
next year.
That's where he needs to be. He needs to get out of the limelight in this one and just let it happen.
Does not deserve.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those, like, the Oscars do not have I mean, at least I don't think they have, because I don't really watch the Oscars, but
Yeah,
last I
I kinda give
checked,
up
the
on the
Oscars
Oscars.
do not have, like, an everlasting entity that bankrolls them and just decides to show up and host part of it. Like,
Right.
it's not a thing.
Yeah. It's just
So-
kind of like something that is produced and funded by various commercial entities and things like that. That is just, yeah. And the
Right, it might be
studios and
sponsored by...
I don't know, the studios and everything else. It's one of those things where I don't know the ins and outs of the Academy Awards, but it's one of those things where, that's regardless. Okay, I'm not saying you need to follow the Academy model, but which I think is what we're comparing it to here. But it's one of those things where it does have room for improvement, and I don't think it's out of the range of possibilities that it could eventually become a good award show type of thing for those people who like award shows. Now, again, not everybody does, as Mitch has already said he doesn't watch these things, but it's one of those things where there are people who watch them. The Academy Awards, whether people watch them or not, are on television every year, and it's one of those things where it's like, I mean, you could have it, and there are people who like award shows. So it's one of those things where, for that crowd, sure, we could go ahead and have it. Not everybody needs to be tuning in. Not everybody needs to care, but it's one of those things where I think it's not out of the range of possibilities that you could turn this into a decent thing.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
They're done with those award shows, yeah. Because that's the same reaction I had when they were over with. Just a
Yeah.
real long pause. And then just, yeah.
Okay, that happened. All
Yeah,
right.
that happened. That was the thing that happened. That's right. And we move on with our lives. So then, yeah. All right,
It's
let's
like
move
nothing
on to...
fucking happened.
I don't... Because that's the problem. That's the part of the problem. Like, nothing of worth comes out of it. That's probably part of the problem. Is that, if a movie wins or an actor wins like a big enough, like best actor or actress or whatever, that's a big fucking deal.
Yeah,
Right?
they can get roles from that and shit.
Right. Who gives a shit if you won like best game award? It doesn't do anything. So.
Douche of the Year award,
I don't think that winning an award at the Academy Awards, the Oscars, really necessarily gives you a bump. As far as like, I think you're looking
they
at,
always tout it in like
sure,
trailers.
it's something you should be happy.
like
you should be
Academy
proud
Award
that you should be
winner
a
is in this
proud-
movie.
Right, exactly. Like if a movie gets an Academy Award, I would say 75% of the time it's usually a pretty decent movie. Like you may not like it necessarily or whatever, but generally speaking, most people will generally on some level like this movie, or at least generally find it. Now, again, there are movies they've nominated that I'm just like, psh, but most of the times it's like 7 or 8 out of 10 times, I would say there's always a couple that I'm like, but generally speaking, I found most of the movies they nominated to be pretty decent movies. Like The Departed is a decent movie. Like Gladiator is a decent movie. It's one of those things where most of those movies, regardless of how you feel about the directors or the actors or anything else, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's not a bad movie. It's a good movie. It's one of those things where we may disagree on whether or not it deserves the award or but you're always going to have that. You're always going to have people who are like, that's bullshit, doesn't deserve the award or whatever. But it's one of those things where you have to give it to somebody. And, obviously you're not going to please everybody by giving it to somebody. And it's one of those things where, but that doesn't mean it couldn't be a solid entry that should be recognized as such. So, I feel like this can be done. And if you got a solid entry there, and the Game Awards show becomes respected, as it hopefully might become, it's one of those things where then you could put that on the label of a game. For example, whether it's on Steam or whether it's in a box, and you could say won the Game Awards for whatever. And that would be a little kind of gold star for that game, and
like that game is good.
Yeah, this game is good.
That game is good.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what you do with movies. I mean, the movie's already been out.
Good movie.
It's already done. People have already seen it. It's one of those things where for those people who may not have seen it or, I don't know, want to give it another chance or what, either way, you can say, that movie's good. That's right. That's right. So, yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. We will see. But we have to get around to our last topic now.
Yes.
This is probably, this final topic. It is, it's titillating. That's the word.
Jesus, can I please just hit you? God, that was fucking awful. I just want to hit you right in the face.
I was trying to think of a worse pun, honestly.
God.
Say something like
see, Mitch, you're acting like a boob now.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, what can I say? It bounced right into my lap. I don't know. Oh God. So, want to explore your favorite game's lore, but don't have the time to sit down and read? Well, head over to audibletrial.com/pauseyourgame for a 30-day trial and a free audiobook on us. Audible offers thousands of books in audio format, ranging from the latest Halo novel delving into the origins of Blue Team to the dark and twisted place of H.P. Lovecraft's unspeakable creatures that so many games draw their inspiration from. Once again, that's audibletrial.com/pauseyourgame. Why not delve into your favorite game's lore or inspiration right now at audibletrial.com/pauseyourgame. Let's talk about, I mean, if you are living in a brown paper bag, right, you may not have heard about what's going on, but if you are one of those bag people, this is what we're going to talk about. So Koei Tecmo has decided to is not bringing Dead or Alive Xtreme 3 Beach Volleyball over. And for whatever reason, that has sparked what I've liked to phrase a non-controversy controversy.
Right.
In that people are trying to attribute this to like some
social
free
justice
speech,
warriors,
some infringement of free speech or social justice warriors at work here, which is complete left of field.
Wait, you need to give our listeners some perspective here on why this backlash has happened.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, please, Mitch, indulge them.
Yes.
Oh.
Tell the listeners
why
we're
the
mad.
backlash, right?
Okay.
Tell
let me
people.
Let me go pull up the post here real
because
fast.
You can't assume that they automatically know what this is all about. So just tell them, Dead or Alive Xtreme 3. What is the real issue here?
Okay.
I mean, if you've played Dead or Alive, you already fucking know.
Right. But if you live in a brown paper bag, all right, or a cave
and
or under a rock,
why
okay,
are you listening to this
we
podcast?
are here for you, okay?
So, Dead or Alive Xtreme Beach Volleyball, in case you don't know, is a spin-off game based off of the Dead or Alive series, which is a fighting game that features let's say busty and bountiful ladies playing volleyball on the beach.
It's designated for teenage boys.
It is tits in action. I think you could call the game that.
The
and you would not be wrong.
The boob physics, though.
Yeah, those boobs are everywhere.
The boobs.
Not how boobs work, but they're everywhere in this game. So anyway, they made so this is a little history lesson here.
Like,
they made
I'm glad
a game
my boobs don't work this way.
Physics are not against you. Good to see. Good to hear. So they made one way back in like when the original Xbox came out, and it was like a big deal back then because it was like we can finally have good enough graphics to show nice looking titties. So that was the thing, and everyone's like, this is a great game because it's got tits, and look how realistic these tits are for the time. So that happened. Then they made a second one, and sales like plummeted, plummeted hard. All right, I think the first one sold close to like a little over 1 million. The second one sold like 400,000 or something like that. It's terrible. And that came out for a few platforms, whatever. And then finally, we're now almost 10 years later, they're coming out with a third one. Okay.
They should have just let the horse die, honestly. But, that's my
Right.
See,
thoughts.
what really happened here is everybody bought the first one expecting something else. And then what they got was this. And then they're like, if that's all the second one is, I'm not interested.
Right.
I think they're overestimating people's like devotion, to this particular aspect of the game, actually.
So they made an announcement at like the start of August saying that they are making a new beach volleyball. It was like, yeah, but it's only going to be for Japan and Asian markets. So people were like, well, what the hell? Why is it not for
Right.
Why is it not for the U.S.
Because look how well the other one did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
right?
it's
Look how well
not because, they just,
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what sparked it
can't
right
even.
here. They said something after like enough pestering, and I can feel what happened here. It was like the guy got pissed off, whoever was like running their
And that's
Facebook or whatever.
understandable.
Yeah,
After you
'cause it was
receive
just berating
all kinds
them.
of visceral,
But you fucking answer it in a timely manner, and this wouldn't fucking happen.
No,
No,
you
that
just
doesn't really have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
The capacity for individuals in the internet to respond to something within a short order of time is
Non-existent.
incalculable. Actually,
Yeah, it's not.
Your
It's
inbox
not. Like,
could
people
be flooded
expect-
with 1,000 emails within 15 minutes.
Right,
So-
they're like, why aren't you
Then
answering me?
answer
It's
it. Yeah.
because there's 10,000 other people asking the same fucking
right,
thing.
yeah, exactly.
And even then, I may not know the right answer to it at the
Yeah,
time. Whoever's
yeah.
behind the desk. So anyway,
As anyone who's composed an email knows, it takes a little while to make sure that you're saying what you actually want to say the way you actually want to say it.
So
Right.
that's obviously what happened here.
well, no, this is what
double-checked
happened was I
that
got
fucking email.
frustrated.
Yeah.
What
Well,
happened was the
what may
This
frustration.
is
have happened
exactly
here
how
is
I wanna
Jesus-
fucking put it.
Okay, I don't give a fuck what you're saying or what you're complaining about. You actually aren't that important to me. So, that could be it too. I mean, people like to think that their voice matters, and as soon as they send off that freaking complaint or that message, somebody is right there on the other side listening. And it's like,
Right.
no, actually, you know what?
You
We
don't-
just
you
really
don't-
don't.
I mean, there
care.
might be somebody listening but just ignoring.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Or
Sometimes the best thing to do is to say nothing. you
right,
know?
and to not even check your inbox. So
Right.
it's like-
So
Apparently.
Anyway, they said after asking, they just reaffirmed their statement, basically saying we're not bringing it to the West and don't have any plans to change this in the future. Thank you for asking. Blah 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 blah. All right. Then after like hundreds of thousands of
Right.
Why? Why?
someone
I
said-
want
then
my
they
chance.
said-
How dare you deny us and give us the hand?
So then finally it said, do you know how many issues happening in the video game industry with regards to how to treat females in the video game industry? We do not want to talk about those things here, but certainly we have gone through in last year or two to come to our decision. Thank you. This is what sparked the madness that has formed around it.
If
was
you
that
don't
little
know what
statement.
fucking beach volleyball is, then you need to just know. Because that's what it's all
it's-
rotated around.
Basically, this has been interpreted by many people is that this is all social justice warriors' fault. That the
Yeah.
reason we do not have Dead or Alive beach volleyball.
Yeah.
I don't know if people are aware that like different areas of the world have different tastes, and that that might make for a certain business decision of it not being profitable. So
The second one wasn't profitable. You just said
Well,
that.
okay,
Be like,
listen.
well, it's not going to do well in the Western market. Don't just blame it on fucking social justice warriors and women.
Listen. Apart from in other words, what Mitch is trying to say is there are definitely different cultural values at work here, and different issues in play that are considered in different ways in different cultures. Japan is not the United States, as Mitch has pointed out in business decisions so damn many times. And so it's one of those things where, not just in a financial aspect and a marketing aspect and what kind of
Just
consoles and games do
culturally.
we, but culturally it is not the same as U.S. society, for example.
Yes.
And our issues are not reflected on or criticized or looked at the same way. Right now, and Tecmo was right on the money here. Okay, since 2014, okay, we have seen any number of giant peaks of issues and publications and speeches and anything else related to the giant elephant in the room, which is still relatively a giant elephant in the room, which is Gamergate, which is like all about women in games and portrayal and everything else. To say that's not an issue is to ignore the elephant in the room, is to say, okay, no, here in Western society, in America, it is definitely, most certainly an issue. And it is definitely a thing you have to consider, okay, whether you like it or not. All right. And so basically, you can't just say, oh, I don't give a shit about any of that stuff. That's all for social justice. Where it's like, no. Okay, you live in this society. You live in this society. We are wrestling with this issue right now. And you can't just act like it doesn't exist because you don't agree with it. All right, so you can't go an ostrich on us and bury your head in the sand and say, can I just go back to looking at my softcore video game porn? All right, so, it's just like, I just... You want to do that? First of all, there's any number of live demonstrations on beaches, year round, okay? Of girls scantily clad, okay, in real, non-pixelated, high DPI resolution.
Okay, Fallon, I think the one problem with this is that, you could do that, but then you'd probably get arrested.
What do you mean?
It's on the beach. It's public space.
Right. Yeah, but still, depending on what you do.
Well, don't go up there and touch
exactly.
them.
Don't go feeling people up. All right.
Okay. Wait. Isn't in one of the games they have a fucking thing where you could take pictures, right? Isn't
I
that
feel
one of
like
the
that's
modes?
any of these games, but all right.
But yeah, like.
All right. Okay. You're right, Beth. Folks out there who are definitely devoid of any sort of like social understanding of acceptable behavior. All right.
There are a lot of people out there like that. Honestly.
All right, there are, and Beth, thank you for highlighting that point.
That's right.
So going back to our id-based Neanderthal like. Primitive.
Now I feel like you're being rude. Okay.
Try to restrain your social media compulsions, right? And try to photograph so that you can turn into a life-size poster of your favorite volleyball girl if you happen to do this. Okay, right?
Please don't. Yeah, that's very creepy.
Yeah, exactly. It's very stalkerish and very creepy. And look, folks, look. We have always had a thriving porn industry in this country. There's plenty of places.
There's plenty of porn to go around.
That's
kids.
right. There's plenty of things, plenty of outlets for you to like get everything that you think you might be getting in a volleyball game.
He's trying to restrain himself. I can hear it in his voice.
Like, my God, are we really arguing about this? Is this really like I want to have my sort of semi-soft porn volleyball game? Damn it.
God damn it.
I need to explain this because this happens with women too. Kind of. They don't understand the fucking society and their fucking norms for behavior. Like there's the band that I'm absolutely gaga over has this problem apparently. Like
that band, Beth?
Yeah, that band.
That band.
They
Sploosh.
have yes. They have there are some teenage fans apparently that they're like convinced that they're either A, talking to the band members, or B, or absolutely fucking in love with them, and it's terrifying because their behavior, and they will find the band they have this anonymity. I can't pronounce it.
Anonymity.
Anonymity.
Every time someone struggles on one of those words that starts with like an E or an A, I think of that Finding Nemo thing where they're just it's a C and anemone.
It's so bad, but
a C anemone.
It's the sad part is that they will stalk them and find their fucking Facebook profiles, and then just assume that they just start trying to friend these guys, and then
you're
he's
exactly
in love with
right.
me.
Yeah,
it's like it's the creepiest thing ever. I don't understand why people can't just leave shit alone.
Yeah,
and I know this is a complete different tangent.
And really, that's it. That's the takeaway right there. Beth just kind of put it right there in a nice little pearl of wisdom. Leave shit alone. There you go.
That's right. Leave shit alone.
Just leave shit alone.
How fucking hard is that?
Yeah, exactly. Just leave it alone.
Leave people alone. Leave people that want to be private alone. Leave people's privates alone.
Leave your favorite celebrities alone. Leave
That's
the people
right.
on the beach alone. You know, just
right.
leave it alone.
Just watch from a distance.
If they want to invite you over, they certainly will.
That's right. If they, and don't
very
assume
direct,
that they're going to be in love with you.
That's right. That's right.
Why?
You are a nobody. Okay. You are
now
a
that's
nobody.
that's a bit rude, but
it's the truth, and sometimes the truth hurts. You are a nobody. Okay, until they make you a somebody. All right, and you cannot become a somebody by forcing your head up their ass.
Life lessons
literally,
right now.
sometimes please don't literally shove your head in somebody's ass.
Right. Exactly.
So anyway, back to where this was.
I am sorry that went off on a tangent.
Yeah,
I'm
it
really
did.
sorry.
So yeah, this is this whole thing. It is part of the issue. You know that if you're gonna bring tits over here and you're not gonna play it off as it just being tits, you're gonna run into an issue. If you just, I feel like they would just run into a lot less issues if they just said this is softcore porn simulator on a beach. Everyone would be like, I understand that.
Oh, there we go.
I'm not going to take issue with that. I know what you're getting into here. Don't try to dress it up as something else.
But the reason they're dressing it up as something else is because it honestly is something else over in Japan.
Right, and that's the thing. And that's then you dig into this deeper cultural thing, which is that in Japan, this is how you deliver that package, right?
To people who are expecting, explain to them, for all the non-Japanese following people out there, what they see in this game. Go ahead and just break it down in real simple form. Okay?
So you have to keep in mind, in Japan, there is an entire culture based off of, idols. That's a thing. Right,
and not just idols here in the West. Again, even that term is confusing.
No, an idol. If you use the term in the West, you're not properly describing what it is in Japan. If you use the term, it is not what you think. Like when you think of an idol, right? You think of someone big who represents something.
Yeah.
Glorified, yes. No, an idol in
Idol's
Japan.
A singer.
Right. Okay, that's fine.
Or a singer, Beth, in a more specific context. Yes, but generally speaking, an idol is a glorified person, worshipped.
Right.
Yes.
But in the U.S., when we think of idols, we think of in profession or maybe some. But now an idol in Japan is more of a way of life. I almost want to give it as they are a representation of what you should strive to be. So you can literally make a profession out of being a female idol, and your job is to just be cute and adorable and hot and everything, and that's all you do.
Man, I want to be an idol. Shit.
Yeah, but it's not. I feel like Mitch is missing a key component here, which is you're almost like a character.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
you are.
It's not. So you're not being you. Okay, let's just get this straight. You're being
paid to cosplay.
Yes.
But to such a higher
extent.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not just I'm putting on a facade. You are the facade.
Right.
Right?
You're a walking avatar of whatever character you're trying to be.
Of femininity, sexiness, or whatever the hell
it's not even about that. Because here's the thing. If you read this article, and again, I think surprisingly enough, you're confusing the issue slightly here. The sexiness here in Japan is looked at as cuteness. In a sense of Hello Kitty cuteness, of look at her big eyes and everything like that.
Well, that's always been.
Look how cute she is. When they see that, they say, "Look how cute she is." Not oh my God, look at
she's
that
so
ass.
freaking hot.
Yeah, it's they're not looking at oh, Angelina Jolie hot. They're looking at oh, Hello Kitty cute. It's which is a dramatic difference. About the way the Western audience might look at that. I'd like to tap that. Japan's oh, I'd like to put a bow on it. There's a difference.
Well, if you liked it, then you should have put a bow on
That's
it.
right. There's a dramatic difference there, of how they consider these things, So, yeah.
No, it's true. And then to further your point, in Japan at least, just has always been. This has always been its case in Japan. It's sex is always usually a punchline.
Yeah.
And this is like that's an extension of this whole mindset of where it's just, it's something sexy is actually, it's funny, right? They use it a lot as a punchline because it's just how the culture's set up.
Right.
Right. And because I guess I almost want to say it's such an awkward thing to do over there.
Yeah,
because the Japanese are very, they're dealing with different levels of issues there in terms of gender representation and in gender equality and as far as like sexuality and how they handle it. I mean, from a Western perspective, they're from a Western perspective, and this is not to say that this is absolutely the truth, but from a Western perspective, they're very repressed in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So, you're talking about a product here which is made in that culture, not this one, for that culture, not this one. And when you bring it over, suddenly people see it the way they want to see it from our point of view, and they're like, wait a minute, why are you not giving it over here? And it's like, well, first of all, you don't understand the way it's done over here, and second of all, that's not why we made this product, because we didn't make it in your country for your audience. We made it in this country for this audience.
That's right, because they're looking at it as this point of view.
Right,
and we know if we bring it over to you, you're going to look at it at this point of view, and that's not what we're saying.
That's right.
And that's what's happening here. And it's not that they're taking away your softcore porn.
Yes.
It's that it's not softcore porn over there.
Right.
That's just what it is.
It's just a fucking game.
So
here's the mind bender for everyone.
Yeah.
If they were trying to make and achieve the same kind of things with this game over there that over here, they would be making a different game.
Yeah, it wouldn't. It would not be
exactly.
the same thing. If you were going to be like if it was to be like an idol simulator, which is essentially what this is.
Yes.
All right. If you were, I don't even know what that would look like in the U.S. Would you run a business or something?
Well, first of all, I think Beth hit on it with the cosplaying.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you would have like somehow like people playing other people, right, in this simulation. Being avatars for those people, like in a kind of cute, oh how adorable sort of way.
Right.
Which
kawaii.
Yes, which even still
kawaii
would probably
culture.
Kawaii eyes.
Exactly. Which
Senpai, notice me.
As somewhat weird for us. It would not come off as sexual at all, which would be the point. But that would be the actual kind of product they're trying to make here. But to us, and to anybody who's never left this culture, it's like, well, how can you possibly see anything but tits and ass in that? And I'm like, try living in Japan for a few decades, and
you'll be like, I get why this is different now, because that's just not how their culture thinks. God damn it! This is, if I was to use the term, and this might become the title of this episode, but this is the titty turnabout right here.
The titty turnabout.
The titty turnabout. All right.
The titty twister.
I mean, that's what it is, because it's literally what it is that over in one place of the world, it makes sense like this, but that's not what they're trying to say. They're trying to say that it's this idol simulator, and they see it as like cute and fun and la la la. She's got big tits, and for us it would be like, big tits, all right, let's talk. This is what I'm in for. Whereas for them, they're like, oh, how cute and adorable. Like, yeah, it's just different.
Yeah, and now here's the other thing. You can't bring something like this over here without also recognizing that we are currently recognizing, like, the representation, hypersexualized representation of women as purely sex objects. Not that a woman can't be sexy or anything like that in the traditional ways and the normative ways that we have, but it's one of those things where it's like, that is all her function is in particular in these representations, which a lot of women gamers and everything else are especially pissed about. It's like, all you are is, the tits and the ass, and that's your only function here. And it's one of those things where that's all you can be, and you don't have any other power besides that, and that's you're the eye candy, and that's all.
That's a bit disparaging.
It's a little bit discouraging, honestly, and it encourages behavior of just like treating women that way. So it's one of those things where it's like, we are recognizing this right now. Okay, I would go so far as to argue that Japan has not even gotten to that point yet. They are not
No,
even.
Japan's very far behind.
Right, exactly. So it's one of those things where, in this case, they aren't even addressing those issues at this point. It's like if we dialed the clock back 30 or 40 years in the U.S., this is what we're dealing with in Japan.
Well, it's more like you've had those issues, but you've just thrown it under the rug for 30 years.
Right.
And this is what's come out of it.
Right, exactly. So it's one of those things where this outrage, as well as the company's decision not to do this here, is a recognition on everybody's parts that this is no longer considered to be just without debate or without any kind of problem here in the U.S., which I think is to our credit, honestly. It's one of those things where it's like, we are waking up to the idea that it's like, no, wait a minute. You know what? This isn't actually very cool. And yes, some of us are still not okay with it.
I was gonna say, you say, we're waking up on this, but do you still have people that blame the social justice warriors?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And it's like, that's real mature.
I'm going to
kids.
tell you, part of the waking up is the resisting of it.
Yes. It is. It is that not everybody wakes up at the same time. So it's one of those things where, and again, I am not like trying to other Japan here or trying to say, oh, well, that's them and they're behind and all that. It's one of those things where I'm trying to say that there are different societies in the world that consider these values in different ways and where people are treated differently. And I think sometimes that, yes, the U.S., not to fall into the normative model here of, oh, we are exceptional, but we are,
America.
We are in some ways, like wrestling with issues that even among ourselves we're wrestling with, that at least we're giving acknowledgement to the way women are portrayed in games, which the Japanese are just not even addressing. Okay, so
not
it's
yet,
one of
at
the things.
least, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why you can't just drop this kind of game in our culture without acknowledging those issues,
right?
Which are not being acknowledged.
This is why we can't have
Japan.
nice things.
Yeah, it's like, so it's one of those things where this is not just social justice warriors. This is not just the company saying, oh, we can't handle a backlash because they're getting a backlash anyway. It's one of those things where this is a realization that no, we would not put out this product in your country because we realize that this product is not made.
What we are saying is not what we will say over there.
Right, and we also recognize that this product is never something we would make in this culture because we realize that these issues are problematic in the design of this game because it wasn't made for you. So that's one of those things where because it was made in a culture that's not even addressing these issues right now. Right. So this is a product of a culture that's not addressing the issues we're addressing, and it's one of those things where that's another factor in this. And again, if you say, oh well, we shouldn't be addressing these issues anyway, and it's all just a bunch of bullshit, then that's certainly your opinion, man. But it's.
I mean, that's like your opinion, man.
That's like if you again, I have to reiterate my former statement of if you really are so hard up on something like that, and you really just want to see women as sex objects, there's an entire industry around.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
That has that ready to go.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean,
go.
If you're listening to this now, it's literally like two jumps.
Yes. Two jums.
Two jumps.
And they are always working hard at work.
New browser.
Literally hard at work.
Yes, working hard at work. Yes, yeah, hard at work. So they are hard at work at taking those two jumps and making them one jump. All right, they want you to get there faster. So
quicker,
faster,
stronger,
harder.
Faster.
Yes.
Cue the Daft Punk song. Like, let's go.
That's right.
Oh God. But I think we're done. I think we wrapped everything up. We said what we wanted to say.
Set our piece.
We're back. If you haven't noticed on this, like we're an hour in and we're back. By the way,
we're back, guys.
Yeah, but we're back. We're back. We'll have a couple more episodes to go on. We had a good time this episode. Do we have anything to mention? I don't think we do. Do we?
No.
Nah. I don't think there's anything newsworthy for us.
Wrap it up, Mitch.
I'm wrapping it up. All right, we're getting out of here.
Alrighty.
We'll see ya.
Bye.
Objection!
Enjoy listening to this week's episode? Help support the show by heading over to pauseyourgame.com and bookmarking our Amazon affiliate link. A portion of each sale made through our link helps support the show at no extra cost to you. This allows us to make more episodes, more articles, and especially more giveaways for our listeners. So next time you buy the big AAA title coming out, you can help support your favorite gaming podcast, Pause Your Game.